So, as of part one, I finalized the divorce. I'm homeless, jobless, completely fucked off by every single person I know. And now the weird shit starts. And when I say weird shit, I'm talking some weird ass shit started happening. One, I start to live in the tunnels in the west side of Las Vegas, underneath the city. There's a vast network of tunnels that, I am coming in and out of, but at the same time, there's weird shit happening. I mean, fucking weird. Like, I had a girlfriend at the time. Her name was PETA. That's a nickname for pain in the ass. Williams. Her ass is, she's cool, but she ain't that cool. Like red flags everywhere. She's like a walking red flag. And when I'm hanging out with her, there's times I notice that there are strange ass events happening all around us. Like, example, we would be in a casino somewhere gambling, and then, we leave the casino. There's a dude pushing a shopping cart out in the parking lot. I look right at him. I look at his face. I'm like, damn, who? That dude doesn't look that bad. Like, I mean, why would you? He was dressed horribly, smelled horribly, but he was really, like, well shaven, and he had a haircut. So, I mean, most of the time when you see homeless people, they're fucked off, But this guy, I look at him and I notice right away, I'm like, this guy's a different duck. Like, why is he homeless? So then her and I drive all the way across town, all the way across Vegas, go to a different casino. He's in the casino, and I know it's him. He's wearing a suit. I'm like, what? I'm like, this dude was just all the way across town pushing a grocery cart with like umbrellas and shit in it. And now all of a sudden, he's standing here in a motherfucking suit. I'm like, So on this note, I start kind of paying attention. Now I'm realizing, man, sometimes the same car will drive by 4 or 5 times. And I'm like, is that real? So then, I start monitoring license plates on a big level. Like, I'm like, dude, because it's tripping me out to the point of, I actually had a fear at one point that the meth had taken over my mind, and I was cray-cray. So I'm like, what is just every fucking, white Toyota Tercel in the area just keep driving by at this point? No. At this point, I realized same car. And sometimes the driver and the passenger switch seats, so now the passenger driving and the driver in the passenger seat, and I notice enough to know that that's what's happening. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, this is real. There's like, so I try to say something to PETA, and she's like telling me I'm crazy. I'm off my rocker, and gaslighting like a motherfucker. But I'm not really understanding, like, I'm like, no, it's right. So I start writing it down in this little memo pad. I keep a memo pad and a pen with me at all times. And I start copying these license plates. And sure as shit, sometimes it would pass by, and then I'll see it on another side of town, and it's the same car, but it would be a different driver this time. And then, so at this point, and plus I was getting this vibe of being watched constantly. I mean, it's like I felt like there was like something around me constantly staring at me. You know that feeling when someone's staring at you? You know, like right now I got this because I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I'm not getting this without letting everyone know what's real. This is real stuff. But so I'm noticing this vibe that is not going away. It is super intense. And it's like stressful. So homeless, west side of Las Vegas, in the tunnels, I get scared enough to where I make a commitment. Whatever's going on, I know it's about me somehow. And I realize I do not want to go around my kids or my ex-wife. Because I'm scared that whatever's happening to me could happen to them. You know, whatever's happening, whoever these people are, whoever they are, I don't want them near my kids. I don't want them near my ex-wife. Doesn't matter what our fucking divorce ends up being, I still love her. You know, that's the mom of my kids. I'm going to take care of her. That was my promise in front of God and family, that I would do that under every circumstance. And I still feel the biggest sin I've ever committed was a divorce. But I mean, there was a lot of reasons behind that, you know, misery being one of them. So here we go. Someone says to me one day, man, you being gang stalked like a motherfucker. I'm like, what? He's like, you don't know what gang stalking is? I'm like, I never even heard the term. It doesn't even make sense to me. I'm like, gang stalk? I'm like, what does that mean? And he's like, it's where like a gang of people will stalk you. And he's like, I don't really know what happens after that, but I know what's happening to you is real. I'm like, okay, so what happens next? He's all, the only other guy I knew who was going through this, he disappeared. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you being gang stalked, and the only other person I knew who'd been through this disappeared. So now I get like straight legit scared, and I stay inside these dark tunnels for, I think it was like almost 4 or 5 months. Never came out, not in daylight. If I came out, I would make sure that I had some kind of face covering on, you know. I mean, I was terrified this thing would affect my children and my baby mama, you know. And then one day it hits me, if they're stalking me like this, they already know who my kids are. And this is a moment of terror for me, because I'm realizing that, you know, whatever I did, I don't even understand what I did yet. But whatever I did has already affected me and my family, because there's no way they know who I am without understanding who my family is. I'm like, I gotta get out of these tunnels, I gotta go home. You know, because I lived in Boulder City, Nevada. I was raised out in Boulder City, Nevada. I raised my kids, Boulder City, Nevada. And now I'm living way out on the west side of Las Vegas, hiding away, because I'm scared that whatever's happening, this gang stalking, I'm afraid that it's gonna hurt my kids. I mean, I'm terrified. And then anybody I bring it up to, you're crazy. You're just, you know, paranoid, schizo. You know, everybody is gaslighting the shit out of me. Everybody is telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Everybody is talking to me like I'm a Looney Tune. But I know it's real. I know it's real. Because it was in every fucking inch of my life. It was everywhere I turned. I mean, I was seeing another piece of evidence of gang stalking. And I'm like, now I'm in terror. Basically all the time, I'm scared. I'm like, what do I do? You know? And then I'm scared for my mom. You know, I'm like, if they know who I am, they know who my kids are, they know who my ex-wife is, they know who my mom is. Now I'm sitting here having to try to accept I've done this to my family somehow, and I don't understand what it is, and I don't understand what I did, and I don't understand, you know? I mean, I'm just like, what did I do? So, at this point, the terror takes over, and I begin to pray. I mean, I literally on my knees in a tunnel, in a cement tunnel, begging God. I'm like, dear God, please tell me what is going on. Please help me understand. Please help me know what this is. And I do this for, I mean, we're talking probably another 3 weeks of me praying to God daily. So then I get this, I mean, it was like a surreal moment. Like this is something like biblical. This is something magic. I get this moment of clarity in a dream. And it's a moment that I remember. I remember my mom doing this. One, after the divorce, prior to the divorce, my mom, ex-wife hate each other. Enemies all day. Talking shit. Get a divorce. Now they're besties. They're like kicking it, texting back and forth. I'm like, one, that's confusing as all get out. I don't understand what's happening. I don't get it. So I get this moment of clarity in this dream. I remember I answer a phone call, and then my mom hands me a hard clip or a hard board with paper on it. She hands me a pen, and she's like, just sign it while I'm on the phone. I'm like, what is it? And she's like, it's life insurance for your company policy, And I'm like, huh? Like, I'm confused, but I'm on the phone with somebody else. So I just sign it. I'm not even thinking. I hand it back to her. But this is like, we're literally talking months and months and months later when I'm fucked off, homeless, starving, drug addict, inside a tunnel, not understanding this gang stalking and why it's happening to me. And I've been praying to God for weeks on this, and then God shows me this dream. And I'm like, why? What is the significance of that? And when I wake up, I'm just so confused because I'm like, it was so real in the dream. And I do remember the moment, and then it hits me. I'm like, that wasn't for my company. That wasn't a life insurance policy for my fucking company. I'd fill all my paperwork out at the company. And then I'm like, oh my God, did my mom take out a life insurance policy against me and then kick me out of the house and have everyone start telling me that I'm crazy and I'm a lunatic and I did all of this to myself? And then I was like, how far does this go? And I start to realize, I start putting pieces together. My best friend's suicide, loss of my job. I mean, all these things, they feel connected. And I'm like, did I sign a really expensive life insurance policy that covered suicide? Is that a realm of possibility? And I don't understand how I'm coming to this conclusion, but that is even scarier than the gang stalking. That my mother and my ex-wife and who knows who else have taken a life insurance policy out on me. Because at this time, I'm young enough to where they're not going to ask me to come in for a medical review. You can take it out, as long as you're willing to fork up some cash, they don't give a shit. And you don't have to be there or even sign paperwork for someone to have a life insurance policy on you. So yeah, don't ever doubt that. And when I start coming to, and I'm not out here burning calories, jumping to conclusions. I'm like piecing these things together. And I realized, oh, this is real. There was a life insurance policy taken out on me that I had no knowledge of, but I signed it. And it was like my mom hit me up when I was on the phone to distract me. So I would just sign. And I'm like, what? This is my mother. I love her very much, I mean, we didn't always get along, but she's still my mom. I still love her. And then now I'm thinking about the ex-wife and a lot of her words and things she was saying during the divorce and, after the divorce and during this time where I am homeless and starving and no money and no job and no access to anything because I was thrown out of my home with nothing but the clothes on my back. Nothing. I built the few clothes I did have through donation bins around the Vegas Valley. So I had some clothes by this point. But I'm like, OMG, how is this happening? And PETA, for some reason I thought I fell head over heels with this girl. I mean, she was so cool. I mean, I was like, this chick is, but looking back on it, it was like skydiving. She was a walking danger flag. I mean, she is a red flags everywhere. This is a bad relationship. I mean, it's like, and I'm walking right past him, just in a trance in love. I'm like, I love PETA. Stupid. Beyond stupid. Head over heels in love. Give me a break. I was an idiot. And especially of looking past danger flags for this woman that is just like, she was scared. It was. I wouldn't, head over heels in love. And then if you look into the psychology of gaslighting, and basically you give someone love and then you go dead silent on their ass. You ghost, right? And this is what happens. The mind starts to create this overwhelming need and want for that individual to come back. Because you don't understand. Everything's so good. And then, bam, gone 8 days. Not a word. And then she'd come walking back in my living room like nothing happened. Hey, baby. Come sit next to me on the couch. I'm like, where have you been? She's like, why are you so worried about what I'm doing? I mean, I'm here now, aren't I? I'm like, the fuck? I don't even understand. But I know that God, all I wanted to do was be with her. Like I didn't understand. I'm like, I just want to be with you, and you vanish. And it was like, everybody acting like, I'm over there being a weirdo, but I just wanted to be with her. And I couldn't understand why she kept just leaving me like that. Like it was beyond painful. One time 8 days, one time 16 days, not one word. It was a 3-word text. I'm not mad. That was after 12 days, and I still didn't see her for another 4 days. And I'm like, because I mean, at one point I'm melting down, and I'm like, I'm sorry for whatever I did. Please understand, I love you. I never meant to hurt you or whatever I did. Just please kind of forgive me. And yeah, that's all I got. 3-word text. I'm not mad. I'm like, and she comes walking, once again, comes walking in my front door. This is before I'm home with us, obviously. She comes walking in my front door. Hey, baby, how you been? And I'm like, dude, at one point I started to cry. I'm like, what are you doing to me? I was like, you don't understand what it does to me when you do this. And once again, I'm smart enough to know I don't know very much. So, so I just know that she is causing some severe emotional pain inside me. And it hurts so bad sometimes. Dude, I'm like, I can't believe she's willing to hurt me like this. So, flash forward, she's been ghosting me on and off for longer and longer terms. And, I'm now homeless. I'm deep into this homeless thing. And so I did make this decision after realizing that the gang stalkers and all this other weird shit going on, my kids may already be being affected. Instead of hiding now I'm like, da-da-da-da, I'm not letting this happen to my children. This is not happening to my family. This is not happening to my kids. Not happening to my mom. That's my decision. I'm like, I'm going back. I'm going back to Boulder City. And I'm gonna, if there's any of that shit is going on around my fam, hell or high water, you better run. Because I'm not letting any of that happen to my kids. And I get back and I realize that I started asking my daughter and started asking my son, just little questions. And one, they're calling me crazy. They're telling me I'm a Looney Tune. But they're being honest when they're saying, yeah, none of that's going on, Dad. What are you talking about? No one's following us. And then now I'm like in this conflict in my mind. I'm like, do I stay here? Because it's only happening around me. So, now I'm confused too. Like, man, if it's just about me, why do they just follow me? And wouldn't they like threaten my family and shit? Like, I just don't even understand. And then PETA's like a whole nother thing. So now, first I prayed on the answer to what was going on. Then I prayed for PETA. Every day. I mean, for days in a row. I said, please just explain to me what the fuck happens to her. Like what makes her like this? Because I'd never met a woman like this. I'd never met a girl who could just be so genuine in this love for me. And then poof, vapor trail. Nothing left. She gone. She gone for a minute too. But I believed her when she told me she loved me. And then when she'd come back, she'd always convince me somehow that she wouldn't even, she's like, I might be gone, but I'm just right here. And stuff like that. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I pray on this. And then once again, I get this vision. And this is clarity, another clarity dream, but it's not a dream. I'm awake this time. And I get this, I'm telling you, this view of things that happen to kids in these child traffic rings. And if it destroys me to know that this is what PETA went through. And I'm like, what? I'm not even going to describe what goes on in this dream because this is intense stuff. You guys all talk about Epstein Island and stuff. I believe this is all connected. So I'm like, man, she's been through the ringer. This girl is amazing. Look how tough she is. And then one day, another vision. This is like within days of each other. I get this vision, and she is in a conversation with her ex-wife. A lot of details in between here, but they hated each other. And then all of a sudden I have this vision of them right next to each other, and they're having a casual combo. They're smoking a cigarette, talking with each other, and I'm like, could that be a real thing? Could Peter and Missy talk? And then I'm noticing that there are people who would ask me about another individual and talk a bunch of negative on that individual. And I swore it was like they were trying to get me to talk negative on that individual. And sometimes I did. And the next time I saw that person, that they had brought up this, because sometimes I didn't like the people they were talking about in a story. I ain't afraid to talk shit to someone's face or about them behind their back, because if I don't like you, I don't like you. Period. Well, to prove this, I did something that is, this is radical. I wouldn't recommend this to figure things out. So if I felt like someone was doing this, I would talk so much shit on this person, whether I liked them or not, that the next time I saw them, if that person was just trying to get me to talk shit on them, and they went back and told them all this shit I said, they wouldn't be able to hide the fury. And I started catching them. A lot of them. And I'm like, why would somebody come to me and want to talk smack on someone else to get me to talk smack when they know each other and stuff? And then there were some girls I had caught with this. They're like, I hate that bitch. I can't stand her. They're like cousins, really good friends. Oh, girl, get over here and, give me a hug, whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, this is all a game. So, and then I know for a fact there are people recording me in conversations, because at different points people come to me with, a word by word parroting of something I had already said. And I'm like, say what? And that tripped me out too. So I'm back in Boulder City. I got all this weird shit happening. I don't understand that. I'm scared for my kids. I'm scared for my ass. I'm scared for my mom. I'm scared for my ex-wife. And, I don't understand any of it. August 3rd, 2019. Normal day, wake up in the tunnel. But I don't get high this day. I don't go smoke dope. I find a $5 bill in a parking lot. And I'm like, yay, yay, look how lucky I am. Best day ever. 30 minutes later, I'm literally suffocating to death, and I don't understand what's going on. I have so much chest pain. I know I'm going to die. I know my death is soon, because there's no way a human being can be in this much pain without being dead soon. I know for a fact you can't be in that much pain without being dead soon. That's my opinion. So heart stops twice that night, and I wake up days and days later in Valley Hospital. But I remember a lot of this. This is some NDE stuff, near-death experience. I was dead. I remember being in a different spot, and I'm negotiating to come back. And basically, that is the crucifixion and the end of this chapter.